On Prime Television Zambia. This is the education segment. This time around, I am joined by Mr. CHELEKA, who's Director Public Relations Officer from ZANUT. Good morning.
Morning, thank you, and good morning, viewers out there.
This is a segment where we discuss various issues concerning the education sector. If you have a comment, a contribution, a question, and of course, you are free to criticize as well, so that your issues can be addressed. To start with, the Ministry of Education is in this year expected to make consultations with stakeholders on the relevance of the grade 7 examination. The consultation, which await Cabinet's approval, are meant to establish whether grade 7 learners may proceed to grade 8 without being examined but assessed. General Education Minister David Mabumba, who is in Central Province to monitor the Zambia Education Enhanced Project ZEEP schools, says the consultations are also meant to respond to one of the ministry's new reforms on examination. Meanwhile, Mr. Mabumba disclosed that the introduction of the school-based assessment will help reduce examination malpractice in the country, as it will help pupils get marks before the final examination. Are you ready as the ministry for the consultation, this consultation that you read as a ministry?
Maybe what I can say is that the minister is doing the consultations, and those consultations which are planned by the minister to be done with all stakeholders. Those consultations, us on our part as Zambia National Union of Teachers, what we can simply say is that we are ready. I think our research department has been running up and down to just put the figures and everything in place in order to give a position. But not to say there are a few things that can be highlighted, however, concerning the issues that go around the research and so on. So what we can simply say is that we are ready for consultation and we are ready to give a view. My General Secretary, I think in the course of the week, also issued a statement to that effect concerning the same. But a consolidated report can always be given after the ministers called for this consultation meeting. Yeah.
But in your own view, do you think the grade 7 exam are very much relevant? Do you think they are that relevant?
It's a good one. In my own view, in my own view, for now, what I think is that the grade 7 exams, they are relevant. You know, they are relevant in the sense that when we look at the numbers, for instance, of the children that are crossing from grade 7 to grade 8, when we look at the statistics that were availed from the Educational Statistical Bulletin for 2017, you discover that in 2017, we had almost about 350,000 children that sat for grade 7. These are the numbers. But the spaces that were at grade 8 were 240,000. Those were the spaces. So you can see we have about 100 and something pupils, those numbers, who cannot find those places. You see where the problem is. So what we are trying to say is that if we don't have the exams, like they've been saying that it's 100% progression. So if we don't have the exams, it becomes difficult to select which pupils we can start preparing for technical schools and so on. There are technical schools in this country. So which pupils should we send for technical schools? So the grade 7 exams have been sieving in a way, trying to ensure that we select the best and take them to those technical schools, and then we select the moderate who are taken to the other secondary schools. Then the rest go into the other normal secondary schools that are available. So they were trying to help us segregate in a way. That is one of the things which I would say the grade 7 exams were doing. So they were helping us to segregate, and they were also helping us to ensure that the children that did not meet maybe the mark could be made to repeat grade 7, so that they can catch up. As they come into secondary school, there are these children that are well prepared for that. Because if we just say everybody progresses, then you saw at some point they were saying we had grade 7s who didn't even know how to read and write. So if we are to push everybody and they go to grade 8 and 9. It's like we are just sending them to grade 9 to go and fail again. So the best is, the essence of education is to ensure that we prepare these children for their life, so that they're able to use life skills which they've attained maybe from the skills of education and so on. So that is one of the issues which I was thinking in my way to say the grade 7 exam is relevant in that area. And the other thing which I can simply state is that the children, because where they are going also at grade, in secondary school, they'll be finding these exams. So the grade 7 exams, they help us for the children to do what? To get used to issues of examination. Because it's not good for them to come only and meet the final exams at grade 9. Even at grade 7, they should attempt to have some kind of an exam. But it's something that we need to explore, because you can hear from the statement that the minister was stating that maybe we can use the school assessment as the basis for determination. But those school assessments, again, we need also to see how are they going to be administered in order for them to have the same effect as the grade 7 exams we're having, so that everybody has confidence in them and so on, and not that pupils can just be favored to pass and so on. So how are we going to do that? So these are the areas that I think we need just to explore them further and understand whether the grade 7 exams are relevant or not. So we need to bring in those things. At the same time, we also understand that I think in the sub-region, it's only Zambia that was conducting the grade 7 exams. So since they were conducting these grade 7 exams, what have our friends in other countries done for them to have no problem of these grade 7 exams? So those are the issues. I was also looking at the issue of infrastructure. If we are to allow everybody to progress, every grade 7 progresses to grade 8, it means we need to expand our infrastructure.
The infrastructure.
Yeah, because like I said, the numbers, we have 350,000 grade 7s. Then at grade 9, the space is only accommodating 230 somewhere there, 1,000. So it means not everybody can go. So we need to increase the space, we need to deploy the teachers, and then when we deploy these teachers, then we can be looking at those aspects of assessment. Then when we assess them, all of them can cross and go. So it's an issue that, like the minister stated, which requires a lot of consultation. It's not just an issue that can just be decided by one person and so on. It requires a lot of consultation so that different inputs are brought in and then they're analyzed. After analyzing, then that's when we can make a move to change or to say they are not relevant. Now we can just continue with the assessments.
Now you've kept on mentioning school assessment, school assessment, school assessment. Do you think the school-based assessment will help in reduce the malpractice in the examination malpractice? Do you think it will happen that way?
In a way, because school-based assessment is good. It's good in the sense that the children, they are now confident that the assessment which is going to come will be born out of the materials that they've been taught by the teachers. Now, we have a situation where, like the grade 7 composite exam, which is written by our children. So that exam which they write is centrally set. So in certain schools, there could be certain areas that they did not cover. So if they didn't cover those areas, you discover that in the centrally set exams, then they'll just look at they'll just look at the topics that children are supposed to cover, maybe in grade 7, all of them, and they'll examine them from there. But in a school based assessment, usually when these exams are coming, the teachers are assessing. They're going to assess the children basing on what they've taught them. Of course, notwithstanding the provisions of the curriculum and the syllabus, but mainly they're going to assess the children on the aspects of the topics that they've covered. And that way, the children, they don't need to look elsewhere. Like the way they do during exams, they begin running up and down for them to look for leakages and so on. This time they will not need to look elsewhere because the answers are right in their books, and the teachers will be reminding them that the exams you are going to write will be based on the things you are learning. So just read. So it's like it will make them not to be moving up and down. So therefore, removing the element of examination malpractice. So those issues might not be so much rampant. Because what causes malpractice is uncertainty, where our pupils are trying to think maybe the exam is going to be very difficult. It will come from different topics that we could have not covered, and then when I fail, it will be very embarrassing. But this time around, the school-based assessment will only be based on things that the children have learned, and it becomes good for them. So the only thing they have to do is to interact with the books. So the issues of leakages, the issues of teachers showing, the issues of sneaking in foreign materials into the exam, I think those will be minimized, because now the children will be saying, these are things we've been taught, so we'll be able just to look at the books and answers will be there.
Well, I am talking to the Director of Public Relations, who is Mr. Joe Kasaka from Zanud, talking about different issues concerning the education sector. You can come through via the number which is on the screen, that is 0976173651, 0976173651 is the number that you can call and text. And we have a text here, or rather, we have a caller. Before we go to the text messages, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning. How are you?
I'm right, and how are you? Would you please tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Jonathan. I'm from Kabwe.
Can you please go ahead with your contribution concerning the education segment that we have in discussing various issues? Can you go ahead with your contribution? Oh, we've lost that call. We have a text message here which is coming from MM from Mongo, and is this saying that when is government recruiting teachers? Is government recruiting teachers this year?
Apparently there was an indication from Cabinet Office where they've approved the appointment of approximately 4,500 teachers somewhere there. So since that approval has come, so the only thing that we are waiting for is now the actual recruitment. So the actual recruitment of about 4,500 teachers somewhere there. So the recruitment is going to be there, and as a union actually we're excited. Each time there is a recruitment we become excited because we feel now our teachers are getting a relief. There are these other teachers that will be coming, so there will be a relief. And you know, though the recruitment is coming for these teachers, the emphasis was for these teachers to go and occupy the schools which they are calling Zambia Education Enhancement Project Schools. ZIP, they are calling, the shortcut is ZIP schools.
ZIP schools.
So these ZIP schools were built by the World Bank. And apparently, if I'm not mistaken, the number's about 82 somewhere there, secondary schools. So these are the schools that they want to fill up with those teachers. Though our feeling as a union is that we needed to recruit even teachers for the other schools. The shortfall is real on the ground. On paper, you might think the numbers are good, but on the ground, the numbers are not good out there. We still have shortfalls because, you know, the enrollment has been big, and especially that the fees have been reduced. The school fees were reduced, and therefore we have had a boom in terms of pupils accessing school and so on. So we need more teachers because teaching a large number is not very good, and it does not provide quality education. So what we think is that if the recruitment is to come, the numbers that were approved by Cabinet, what we are saying is that they are not sufficient. We need to approve more numbers so that we can recruit more teachers. We need more teachers in this country. And especially this year, around November, I think we may have a good number of teachers retiring, because that retirement window where they had said people can retire only at 60, those who were 55 who were retained that they will retire at 60. By November, all of them must be, those who were supposed to go that time, will be leaving. So we still have that shortfall. And I know replacements have been going on, they've been replacing here and there, but we need a more robust exercise of recruitment where a good number of teachers get recruited at once, and then we see so that they come and give relief to the teachers that are strained, teachers that are teaching longer period. I mean, they are teaching more periods, teachers that are teaching bigger classes, and so on. So they require relief so that those classes are split. Another teacher is deployed to come and take up some space.
Now that pupils will be resuming for school for the crucial term, the third term, what is your word to the parents, pupils, and teachers?
Yeah, the third term has always been a very busy term in the school.
It's a crucial one.
It's a crucial one, yeah. Because you see, maybe in the second term you didn't finish the syllabus for the second term, or there are certain things that you didn't do in the second term, or because the first term there were these delays, so you carried forward some work to second term. Now you are carrying this work to third term, plus the work for third term itself. So it means now the teachers have to ensure that they break even concerning what they are supposed to be providing to the pupils. Because in this term, we're expecting our pupils to write, those that are in the examination classes, to write their exam. And they must be ready for the exam. So what is there is that you need to cover the part of the syllabus that is supposed to, in fact, the part of the syllabus that you are supposed to do in the third term, you need to cover it. Then on top of that, you need to start preparing them for the exam by doing a lot of revision, a lot of exercises, so the children are ready for these exams that are coming. So it's very crucial and very busy for our teachers, especially those that are teaching examination classes. So my only advice to the teachers that are doing these examination classes is that let us concentrate in terms of work. Let us ensure that we don't absent ourselves from these pupils. We should ensure that we prepare adequately each time we are going to class, because these children are only going to learn for, strictly speaking, it's less than 2 months, because the exams are coming in November. So they have October and September in which to do whatever they want to do in order for the children to be ready for the exams. So they need to put in their best. Our teachers need to put in their best to ensure that when the children write exams, when results come out, we don't see a situation where our children don't perform so well, especially the children that are in grade 12. You know, they are now exiting school, so they will now be going into another different environment, which is maybe the university or the college. So we need to prepare them adequately so that they pass, so that everybody that writes these exams passes and goes to the university. That's what we would want. Then for the children, our appeal to them is that now we have the aspects of this obstacle, the load management. They're calling it load management. Yeah, load shedding. So we have this obstacle which has come. So it means reading in the night becomes tricky. So our children must utilize daytime reading. They should not be playing around, because during exams it is very, very difficult time. So if you waste any time, you will never recover it, because other things are still coming. So our children, they must be hands-on. During the day, let them utilize the day so much, because in the night they have no time. If they're going to be waiting for the night, it will be very difficult for them, because in the midst of load shedding, they might not even have power at that time, and they'll remain behind. For the parents, we need their usual support. You know, the children, they need to be encouraged, especially their children. We are not with them all the time. When they knock off, they need to ensure that we are with them. They see them reading during the day, because in the night they have no time because of load shedding issues. So our children might not even perform better because of the issues of load shedding if the parents are not helping in terms of supervising those children to read during daytime. Yeah, so let them utilize the daytime reading. In the night it's only guaranteed because of load shedding.
There's a message here saying, good morning, I'm very happy with the program. I discovered that it's in grade 7 where pupils pass more, even though some of them, they don't even know how to read. How relevant is the grade 7? I'm sure you answered on that question. There's another text again. What is the government doing to help teachers who are trained but helping rural schools as volunteers? What is the government doing?
In fact, the last recruitment that we had, we were looking at people that are based in those areas, the local teachers, the teachers that are based in those local places. Those were the ones that were being given preference. The reason was very simple, because if you recruited somebody that has moved from an urban setup and goes to a rural setup, research or history has told us that those people who are coming from the urban center, when they apply in rural areas, because they just want employment, they don't stay. Those are the ones that are coming back to town. So the people that are in rural setups, like the person that wrote the message, is in a rural setup and is helping. I think those are the people that the ministry needed to recruit, because those people will not run away from those places. If they've got the qualification, I think those are the ones who need even to apply, and they need to be retained in those areas. So it's just a question of getting identified with the education authorities in those areas. When they get identified and they support, then they can be easily taken on. So those are the things. Otherwise, it can be nice that the people that are within that locality who are even helping without any pay, those are the ones that we must give that consideration.
Joe, as you are winding up, we have another last text that you are supposed to respond within a minute. The GCE timetable for this year was not set as before the time was fixed. Please, for next year, see to it writing mathematics and science today. I'm sure the
issues of GCE timetabling. Yeah, the issues of timetable usually come from the Examination Council of Zambia. They're the ones who make these timetables for GCE, for even the school leaving exams, even for junior secondary school exams, even the grade 7 composite exam. Those, all of them are done by the Examination Council of Zambia. I think if there is such an issue, it's a very good input that we can take to ECZ, so that they're able to look at how the timetabling was done. If it was not done well, I'm sure that is an input that we can take to ECZ, so that they can look at it for consideration.
Well, thank you very much for making it through to Wake Up Zambia.
Most obliged. Thank you so much.
Sure. I've been talking to Mr. Joe Kasaka, who's Director of Programs, Public Relations Officer from ZANUT. We are talking about various issues concerning the education sector. This is Wake Up Zambia. Continue watching the program as it continues on the other side with another amazing interview with Aaron Tondolo, with the musician who featured the most popular musician. Of course, they'll be talking more about that on the other side. Keep watching.